Yo, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to my channel. Today we will be finishing up this Apex Legends logo tutorial. So let's go ahead and get into it. So the only thing I have done different is I have already exported the other pictures. So one thing I didn't say in the last video is you're going to want to make sure that you put the girl and the lightning all together and just hide the backgrounds on everything else, because all you're going to want is just the girl and the lightning, and then export the picture like that, and it will be a transparent picture as far as the background is. And then after you do that, you're going to want to only hide the girl and all the electric bolts now, and now all you're going to want to do is have the background itself and then export that as a separate picture. And then the next step is we're going to want to come over here to new. We're going to want to make a new document, and for the YouTube logo size, it's going to be 800 by 800 pixels. So we can go ahead and make that 800 by 800. It won't really matter if it's going to be like tall picture or wide, because it's just square. So yeah, you just hit create. Now from here, all we're going to have to do, or want to do, is you're just going to want to minimize Photoshop, or however you want to open it. Get the background. We'll go ahead and throw it in here, and then we're also going to go ahead and get the girl, throw it in here. Now we have those two pictures that are already completely together. So I'm gonna go ahead and hide the girl. I'm gonna go to the background, Control T, and I am going to just I'm holding Alt to stretch it. I know for some people, I've been watching like some YouTube videos, like just like last couple weeks or whatever, and everybody says hold shift, but shift actually doesn't keep the form for me for some reason. So if y'all know anything about that or how to fix it, please let me know. That is one thing that I'm kind of confused on whenever I watch these videos. For me, it's actually control. But yeah, so anyways, you're just going to want to hold, all I'm doing, I'm just holding control and I'm zooming in. All I really want, I want it to where you can't even tell there's a person here. So now that just looks like a texture. To me, that just looks like a texture. The background's already blurred, so it can't really, you don't really see like it blurred. And then this texture that we added that looks like it's cracked. So with this texture right here, the one that's cracked, you can tell that all the frames and everything stay the same since it's not made of pixels. We're going to want to go back over here to the galaxies page, and we're going to want to come back over here to Apex Legend logos, or logo Apex Legend. Dyslexic moment. We're just going to get the actual logo. You don't necessarily have to get it from his pack. You can get it from whatever pack. I'm just working out of his pack right now. As soon as we drag it in here, this is pretty much going to be what the logo is. We want to fill it up a little bit more, so I'm just going to stretch it. I'm just holding Alt, or you can hold Shift, whichever one makes it where you can actually zoom in for the whole size. Shrink it down just a little bit because I'm going to add the character right here in the middle, and then also a name on the bottom. So I'm going to add the name about right here somewhere. It's going to be coming down a little bit lower. From right here, y'all can pretty much do whatever you want as far as this next step I'm about to do. You can change whatever color. But anyways, I'm about to go ahead and start editing this, make it where we have like extra lines and stuff right here. So I'm gonna right click on here, go up here to the blending options. For here, I'm gonna go ahead and let's go ahead and I'm gonna start with the drop shadow. I'm gonna go ahead and just have it on normal, opacity 100, that way I can see what I'm working on. And then from here, I'll just start messing around with this. So the drop shadow, if any of y'all are new to Photoshop, the drop shadow is just going to be the shadowing behind the actual letters or whatever. And this little angle right here, it'll change the direction of the shadowing. So see, now the shadowing is on this side because we changed the angle. So basically, let's say if the light is going to be in this direction and it's going to be pointing up to like this corner, now you're going to have shadow. So this is basically going to be where the light is, I guess you could say. So if the light's coming straight from the bottom, you're just going to have, you know, the what you call it up there at the top. But I like 90 is just going to be pointing straight back down, so I'm gonna keep it at 90. I will change the distance a little bit, make it a little bit more in depth, I guess. I don't want to move the size too much just because I want it to actually keep, or the spread, I mean. I don't want it to start coming out of its formation. So I guess I'll keep it about 5. I'm doing about 10 for the size. For the distance maybe around like 15, 20. That's what I'm gonna go with. Like I said, again, you can choose whatever you like, whatever you think looks good. For the outer glow, we will use a purple, like a purple blue, kind of like that indigo color that we had, except for I'm gonna go with, maybe I'll go with like a little bit more of a, we're gonna try the purple. We're gonna try purple first. I'm gonna try a darker purple since she has dark on her. Go to normal, opacity 100. It doesn't really pop too much. I'm gonna just play around with the colors real quick, see what kind of looks good. That kind of looks good, but I feel like that's almost too bright. Maybe a little bit more pink. Let's try a little bit blue. Yeah, I like that one. That one looks nice, even, blends pretty well. Now I'm just gonna change the opacity to maybe around 70, 75, somewhere in there. That looks pretty good. Now I'm going to go to gradient overlay, and I'll probably just keep with the same exact style, this like the black and white. I kind of like that. I've already made this a couple different times, and I changed it to like a pink and all this stuff, and I feel like this one's actually going to be the one that looks best. Now I just got to find one that actually is going to look pretty good but not so harsh, I guess you could say. Sometimes whenever I make stuff, I just kind of like to play around with like the options and stuff. That's kind of how I like to find new things. I actually kind of like how that looks, except for we're going to go to the bottom, so I'm gonna type in -90, which will point the light straight from the bottom. All right, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to try and make this a little bit lighter because I don't necessarily want it that much of a difference. I'm going to just start moving some of these bars and stuff till I get it looking how I want. It's almost there. Now it's just not white enough for me. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to change the color. I guess I have to choose this one. I'm going to just bring up the color of it a little bit. Not that one, it's this one. The one that we were moving, the one that was far left, that's going to be this far left color. That's what I thought it was gonna be reversed. I was like, hold on, it's supposed to be getting lighter at the top. So since we have it on difference, it's gonna be pretty much backwards. I forgot that I had it on difference. I'm gonna bring it down to about right here. I kind of like that look, that kind of almost metallic look, I guess you could say. Actually looks pretty sweet. I'm not gonna do a gradient overlay. Y'all can mess around with some of this other stuff. I think I will do a glow though, just so it can have like a little bit of glow in the background. And let's go with like this light blue. I kind of like that light blue. I said light. We're going light. Where's this other blues at? Here's a blue. We'll go about right there. See how this looks. I'm gonna do screen to normal, or change it to normal, and then it's not bad. See what it looks like with soft. You can barely see it. Overlay. I honestly don't see a difference on that, so if I'm just keeping normal. Dang, it's on 100 too. All right, so now we're going to change. Ooh, that's kind of cool, but that's not what I'm looking for. Maybe let's see what 2 looks like, and we're going to go with softer, so it's not so harsh. Maybe 5, but just kind of play around with stuff. That's also the easiest way to learn a lot of this stuff, because when I first started, I actually haven't even been doing this for too long, to be honest with y'all. But yeah, when I first started, I kind of already knew this stuff a little bit. Photoshop is just a little bit more in detail than what I'm used to. I'm used to like video editing and stuff, so it's kind of the same thing, except for Photoshop has like 30 knobs for one different thing, versus video editing, you don't have 30 knobs for one thing, you just have like 3. But yeah, all right, so the only other thing I'm gonna do, I guess I don't know if I want the inner shadow or not. I'm not gonna go with the inner shadow. Stroke, let's go outside. Now I'm not gonna do that because then it's gonna hide the color that we just added. So I'm actually just gonna leave this alone like that. I actually kind of like that. So now the next step, we're gonna go get the girl, which I just hit her pretty much. We're gonna put the girl on top of the logo, and we will put her on the inside. So what we're going to do now is we're going to change the opacity to the girl. I'm gonna change it to about 50, just so that way I can actually see the actual logo itself. And now I will zoom in. To zoom in fast, what you can do, I forgot to say this in the last video too, hold control and push either the plus sign or the minus sign. Minus to zoom out, plus to zoom in. But yeah, that's the fast key for it. Apologize for not saying it in the last video. All right, so I'm gonna zoom out a little bit, and I'm just gonna kind of try to place her where I want, which I think I will actually do right here. The reason why right here is because I kind of like how this is under the logo, so this is going to kind of just come across the logo like that. All right, so now I will zoom back in, and I'm gonna get the eraser tool, and the only thing I'm going to be erasing on here is just this little part right here, so that way it looks like she's behind the actual logo. I'm gonna erase her up slightly because I don't want her hand to get erased much. And the only thing I will keep this little electric bolt thing right there. All right, so I'm zooming back in. Put your eraser on. I got mine up to size 10, the hardness to 0. I like to erase with the hardness on 0, so that way if you mess up, it won't really show that much of a mistake. It will kind of feather off. I want to try and get some of this glow too, just so that way the glow will really show pretty good. And if you can't see it, of course you can always change the opacity too. Let me make sure I got the glow pretty good on the other side. The only thing you want to be careful of is when you get too close to this bolt, the blue that's glowing on it, it might erase it a little bit. So I think everything on this side is actually pretty good. I know the hand is sticking over, but I actually kind of like that look, so I'm actually gonna go for that. Just erase a little bit more right here in the background, and let's see how it'll look. Let me change the opacity back to 100, and I'm actually pretty happy with that. The only thing I probably could have done before I exported her, put the opacity a little bit down for the lightning, so that way it's a little bit softer. So that's the only thing that I would probably go back and change for this video. I'm not going to do it, but all you have to do is just go back to this lightning bolt, you click it, just change the opacity down. That's really it. It just kind of makes it look a little nicer in my opinion. All right, so the next step we're going to do, we're going to create a new layer, and this one is going to be the text. So you can go ahead and choose whatever text you want to do. You can add your name, do whatever. For this video, I'm just going to type out name, just because I'm not really doing this for anybody. I'm just, you know, just for YouTube purposes. I'll bring it out here to the side just so I can see it, and just go ahead and choose whatever kind of text you like. I'm gonna change it to a white because I plan on making it kind of like the emblem, the logo, how it, you know, just kind of how it stands out. Where's my fancy names at? If y'all don't have a font that y'all are actually really happy with or y'all like or whatever, you can always go to dafont.com, dafont.com, and they actually have a lot of free fonts that you can use. I'm sure a lot of y'all know that. Just, you know, just throwing that out there in case you didn't. All right, we're already getting down here to the bottom. So I actually do most of my designing on my other computer, so that's where a lot of my fonts and stuff are. I just have to use my laptop just for recording purposes. I don't have an HDMI port on my main computer. All right, where did I see that one I actually like? All right, we'll go with this one. It kind of looks fun, kind of looks like a gaming style, you know, letters. All right, so I'm just going to size this up just slightly. I'll bring it up about right here, and then I'm going to hold shift and bring it down. You just make sure it's center, and that's pretty much that for the name. Now we're just going to go over here to the name, going to right click on here, go to blending options. Actually, the very first thing I want to do, I'm going to right click on the logo, and we're going to copy that. I'm curious on how it's going to look on the name, because it will look almost exactly the same, but I just don't want it to be too much. Where is it at? All right, paste at the bottom. I should have known it was down there. So that actually looks kind of cool. So that I'm gonna keep this, but we're just gonna do some tweaks because I want the name to kind of stand out a little bit more. So for this, I will be changing the gradient overlay. Actually, no, we're gonna do color overlay. I'm gonna change the color overlay on it. So I want this to be more of a silver, not really a harsh white. And we will go to normal, and let me raise that up. I'm gonna bring it down about halfway just so that way you can actually still see like the lines in it from the gradient overlay, and I'll bring up the gradient some. I'm gonna change this to normal just to see what it looks like. Let me change it to a couple different things. I didn't think a lot of these would work. I was just curious. That one kind of looks cool. Oh, that was the one we already had. All right, so I guess this is definitely the one we're going with. So yeah, I actually like that. I just put the difference up to 100. The color overlay, I have it at 49, about halfway, just so that way you can actually see the line through it. The only other thing, I'm gonna play around with the bevel. It actually kind of looks cool already. I actually really like that. Just make those a little bit thicker, I guess. I didn't even see what the size was before I started playing with this. Now it's like I don't even like this. All right, so I'll bring the soften up. So that way it still kind of looks beveled, but it's not as much. It's a lot softer. We'll go to stroke. And let's go on inside. I'm just gonna see what this looks like, to be honest. Oh, it looks bad. Okay, I lied. I'm not doing stroke. I think that's actually gonna be it. I'm gonna play around with inner shadow real quick, just see what this is. So sometimes if I don't really know what it is, I'll click on it, or if I don't remember what it is, I'll click on it. I'll change it to a random color, a color that will throw everything off. So like for this instance, red, because I know I have no red in here whatsoever. So then I'll just kind of look at it, and then I can kind of play around with the settings, figure out what it does, and then from there, then you can figure out, you know, if you want it. I actually am going to use this one. We're going to put the size to around 5. The choke, let's do 3, and the distance, let's do maybe, no, 7's way too much. I'm gonna do 2. I'll do the distance to 2, and I'll go ahead and bring this all the way up, the opacity up for right now. And I'm going to, let's go for a little bit more of like a blue, because I don't feel like there's enough blue for this one. Let's go with the lighter blue, something that you can kind of see more. There you go. So the lighter blue is going to help the name kind of stand out a little bit more. So it's more so the blue kind of from like the electric bolts. I kind of like that. So now I will change the opacity. Let me see what overlay looks like on here. Don't really see too much of a difference. Try soft light, which I didn't see anything when I clicked it. Yeah, so I'll just keep this one on normal, since I can't really see the other ones too much. And the only thing that I will do now is change the opacity down to around half. Yeah, that looks pretty good. Maybe a little bit lower, around 38. Yeah, so it's just slightly. So I was looking right here around the E, and it's, you know, just like little shading that I really did for above it. That's what these size things was that I was playing with. So that pretty much completes the name. So I like that because the name actually matches the logo, or yeah, the logo emblem itself. All right, so now the next thing that we will do, we're actually almost done here. So a couple of the next steps, we're going to come over here back to Galaxies pack, and let's go to the top under particles, and let's click on the first one, which is like all these little dots or whatever. I'm gonna click this, and we're gonna drag it onto here and just kind of move it around to whatever you like. Kind of like it about right there. Now the only thing that I am going to do is I'm going to get the eraser tool. I'm gonna size it up to maybe about 70, and I'm just going to go over the actual emblem itself. It is still on soften, so anything that's around it, it will kind of erase a little bit. I got it on soften. I'm just going to go around and erase everything that's actually on the logo itself and around it, because I don't want it to take away from the logo, and go on the person, around the person. Now the next thing I'm going to do, I'm just going to change the eraser size. Let's go to about 200. 200 looks pretty good. And now I'm just going to drag across, and I don't want too much, so I'm just going to kind of randomly, that looks about right. Something kind of like this. You have like the little areas. Actually, I'm gonna undo this part. So you can just push Control Z. Each time you do a Control Z, it'll start erasing stuff. I mean, undoing. I'm sorry. I'm over here thinking about this. All right, and yeah, so that's all I did. I kept clicking that. Right now, I'm just randomly clicking in with the eraser. I'm just getting it to where I like it, to where some of these aren't super harsh. And then now that I have that, I'm just going to change the opacity to maybe close to half. Really, this is just gonna be something in the background, something kind of like that. I guess it kind of looks nice. You can barely see it, but it's there. The next thing we are going to do, we are going to go back to galaxies. We're going to go back over here to the next particle, which is stars, like this. And we're going to bring the stars over here. Now for this one, I will be actually moving this a whole lot more. All right, so go ahead and move it to how you want or how you would like it. I'm actually going to push Control T, and I am going to zoom outward with it because I don't really want a lot of stars. It's not looking like there's an option for like a few stars. It's like you either get a lot or you get a little. All right, maybe something, let me size it down just a hair. Yeah, I'll just size it down to something about like this. I was really looking for this star. I want one that kind of goes across like that. Now we will zoom back in, Control plus sign and Control minus to zoom in and out. Go back, I'm going to the eraser tool, and I'm going to erase everything on the logo once again. And pretty much now I'm just going to erase certain stars that I just don't want, because I don't really need a whole bunch of stars. I'm gonna click right here in between both of these. It's just going to soften it. I'm just going around with my eraser, making sure that I got all the other stars out, because really I don't want stars. I just want those two. This one, I have like one more right here at the very bottom, and then that one. Yeah, the stars is kind of just something to throw in the background just to make it, I want to say not boring, but it's already not boring just because we have so much going on in the background as far as the actual background we made. All right, so now the next thing that I will do, we are going to go back to Galaxies pack again. This one will actually be for the last time. We're going to go to this one, I'm not even going to try to pronounce it. We'll just say Nor. We're going to go to Nor, and it's just going to have this little outline, which is pretty easy to make if y'all don't know how to make it. Hold on, where is the particles? Okay, I'll be honest, the only reason I actually really want to use this one is because it's a challenge for me to actually make it fit. Dang, it's not going to let me take it. Okay, there we go. So I had to push Control T to actually take it since it's pretty much transparent. All right, is it gonna let me? Oh, I can't do that. If that sucks. How did I do it the first time? Okay, click the shadow area. You can click and drag on the shadow area. All right, so this one's actually a challenge because it doesn't actually fit this. We actually are gonna have to size it to fit. So I'm gonna hold Control T. And now y'all will see what I mean. So it's actually cut out for like a YouTube thumbnail, I guess you could say. I think that's actually the dimensions for it, or of it, is an actual YouTube thumbnail. I'm gonna zoom out, and I'm just gonna bring this side in. So for me, I'm holding Shift, bringing that in. And now we will zoom into where we can actually see it all. And now I will just try to size this to the best that I can. Try to make it even. And I'm using arrow keys too, by the way. This is actually a whole lot easier, my second or third time doing this. Alright, so I'm gonna click OK, look at it. So it needs to be bigger and wider, and this one is obviously a lot smaller. So I'm just gonna hold Control, and I'm going to try and get it all to where it's going to look evenly. That actually doesn't look too bad, to be honest. That does not look too bad. All right, so let me actually show y'all how to make that real quick, in case y'all are curious on how to actually make that. So you can come down here to this tool, rectangle tool. You just pretty much make a line, make a bar or whatever. We're gonna make it, I guess we'll make it white. And then after that, we're just going to come over here and go to the overlay. And as you can see, overlay, it already does that effect for you. And that's all it is. You just put it around the corner. So that's actually the easier way. I just wanted to try and use this just because I like trying to size it. I like challenging myself to see if I can actually size it right. Now the only other thing I'm going to add, I'm gonna add a white spot, like maybe in the top or the background. I don't know, but I feel like it needs something. So I'm gonna come over here to the paintbrush. That size actually is pretty good. I'll use that one size. I actually like that. All right, so now we're going to go, I just randomly clicked too. I want it behind the logo. So before I actually play around with this, I'm going to have this behind the logo. That was the extra background that originally came on here. What is it this? Yeah. All right, let me go ahead and name this. Name it white spot. And from here, let's see. I'm just going to kind of hover over the options, see what kind of looks the best. And if you actually like it just like that, how it is, you can just turn down the opacity and it won't really change much. It'll just be a little simpler. I guess I'll just go with overlay. I think overlay is probably looking the best. Although at the same time, it's not really looking like much, so I'm actually gonna go with soft overlay. Nah, I like overlay. I definitely like overlay better. Just bringing up the black in it and the black in the background, making it a more rich color. And then since the bottom of like right here is actually a shade black, I will actually add that same kind of overlay. We're going to name this black. I'll just name it black. That's it. Usually I like to simplify. Oh my gosh. I like to simplify. There we go. We said it. All right. We're going to go over here to the gradient tool. And I'm not gonna go jet black. I want it to kind of be a black, but we're gonna go maybe like in between the black and the dark gray. And then from here, just click on the bottom. I'm gonna go about halfway. Oh no, that is not what we said to do. It's all right, don't freak out. So just go over here to now we are gonna go black. We're gonna go black. Black. Do it again. Still coming up green. It actually looks pretty dope like that, I ain't gonna lie. Kind of like that. Ooh, that's cool. That actually really makes the logo pop. That's probably the coolest part. Huh, I'm gonna use that. I actually like that, guys. This is gonna be the video. So just know that by the time y'all watch the end of this video, this is where I decided to use my logo. Or this as the logo, because originally it wasn't gonna be this, it was gonna be like that, where it was light, but with the black background it makes everything else on here actually stand out. So I actually really love that. The only thing I do wish was that this outline was actually a little bit brighter, but that's not a big issue. We can make it brighter. It's gonna be some work. Not really. Let's go ahead and make it brighter. I want this little out part a little bit lighter. So what we're going to do, we're going to come over here to the lasso tool. This one, the polygonal, whatever. All right, so now we're just going to click the corners. It's pretty easy. You just zoom in. You click one here at this corner. Try to make it as perfect as I can. And we'll just bring it all the way over here to this corner. Zoom in, take your time on it, click. Now we'll go over here to this bottom corner. Come on, there we go. Boom. Now we're gonna go over here to the other bottom corner. Now we're just gonna make it match back up with the very first spot that we started on. Right there, when you get that little circle symbol under the poly thing, then that works. So now that we have that, what we're gonna do, we're gonna right click and we're going to do, which one is it? All right, I'm not gonna lie, guys. So a lot of this I actually figure out by myself. I don't really do YouTube for a lot of this. But I think save selection. We're gonna try it. We're gonna try this. Let's see if this works. So now we're gonna go to layer 1. Did I use the right tool? I hope I used the right tool. Otherwise we gotta use a different tool. No, it wasn't the right one. All right, so we're going to have to, I'm gonna go back to my lasso tool. We're gonna right click. We're going to make a work path. And then from here, we should be able to paint. Nope. Let's see what the other option. We're gonna right click and we are going to, I don't think there is anything we can do, but, all right, so I messed that up. All right, so I'm just doing Control Z, and then to get rid of the lines, do Control D. That's what I didn't do. So we're going to, all right guys, noob alert. All right, so we're going to go over here to the pen tool. Come down here, get the pen tool, not the lasso. I don't know what I was thinking. I should have easily known that. We're going to get the pen tool. Don't worry guys, it was just about 3 minutes of your time wasted, nothing crazy. Click the corner, go to the bottom. Bam. Come to this side. Bam. Now we're gonna come right up here, connect it. As you can tell, it completely did everything in the middle. So we actually don't want that. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna come up here to path, and now we're gonna go to shape. We're gonna take the fill off. Now it's back to its normal, and we should be able to, I'm gonna right click. Let's try paint now. See if we can paint it. All right, so we can't. So the only other way that I know, y'all professionals that are probably watching are probably like, what the heck are you doing? But yeah, the only other way I know is to like actually go all the way out here like this. And then you can do something like that. And then after that, you can right click, make selection. Make selection right here. Bam. Now you got that. And from here, we can probably go to overlay and then Control D to get rid of that. And yeah, so now you see that that's brighter. All right, so your boy know a little bit of what I'm talking about. So we're gonna go up here back to the corner. We're gonna do the same exact thing. Go to this corner. Stop moving. That's not what I was trying to do. We're gonna click this corner. We're gonna come out here and come out here. Actually, we're gonna come up just a little bit, just so that way, in case it didn't quite get it all. Anyways, right click on here. We're going to go to make selection, 100%. Bam. Go to overlay. I said overlay. There we go. Control D to get rid of the lines. Oh, that's actually, I can see that. So all we're gonna do, we're just gonna make this little path around it like this. You don't have to. I hope that doesn't make the that little black line. I don't want that black line there. I really don't. I hope this fixes it. Ew, it's another overlay that's making it pink. No, that sucks. So I'm just gonna Control D. Where's the shape that has the black in it? So it's not this one. Maybe we're gonna try it. I'm gonna see. I haven't actually tried this, but we're gonna try this. I'm gonna see if I can just erase that little part right there. No, you can't. All right, so I tried it now. I tried it. So there's a couple different ways we can fix that. We can either make it into a design, or we can actually fix it as a whole. You can fix it by taking like the like little picture. I forgot what it's called. It's you could probably blur it or blend it. I mean, the smudge tool, I think it might be called. Anyways, there's one of those. Hold on, what is this? Who added this? Some. Okay. Delete. Get up out of here, bro. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and just finish up the rest of this outline. I won't go into detail about fixing that. Instead, I will cover it up so that way it actually looks like a full masterpiece. All right, so now what I'm gonna do, I'm just gonna go ahead and I had to go handle something with my dog, so that way she stopped barking. So I'm just going to come over here. I'm gonna make it like a full on thingamajigger. So I'm just going over this entire outline. This is supposed to be a tutorial. I'm over here saying thingamajigger. All right, so I just made this whole thing an outline. We're going to go to make a selection, hit OK, and now this whole part is actually white. You know, we probably could have just went around. Y'all watching this video, all you have to do, I did not think this through. All you have to do is just go ahead and outline this entire inside. No, I lied. We would still have one. But yeah, you could go all three and then just start coming around like this and then make a selection. It'll do all three of those sides. All right, so anyways, we're gonna go over here to overlay, Control D to get rid of that mark. Now that we have this on overlay, if we really wanted to, we probably could come over here in the paint, make this sized up a little bit more, and do some like little paint splats like that. I actually kind of like that. We're gonna go over here to the side as well. Not that side. What is this one? So that's not anything. I'm gonna delete that one. So that's the top. That's the side. I'll have a little spot right there. I think that these just kind of make it look a little cool. I don't think 2 is anything. All right, so now I lied. We're gonna go back to Galaxy one more time. This is gonna be the very officially last time. Everything is actually pretty much done for me. I just want to add a little something. So I'm gonna go over here to effects. As soon as it drops down, then we're gonna go to this very first one. The first one, it's already white. It's this little electric bolt thing, and I'm gonna throw it up here. And now from here, I'm actually just gonna stretch this out. That's really it. We're gonna turn it. So I'm gonna do something kind of like that. Zoom out just a little bit to tweak it a little bit more. And we will turn it once more. I'm gonna just use arrow keys just to try to get it exactly how I want. All right, so something kind of like that. I actually kind of like that. So now I'm gonna zoom in, and on this tool, I'm actually going to go on to the eraser, and we're gonna size this up. We can size it pretty much to whatever. I still have the feather on to almost nothing, and really the only thing that I'm doing, I'm just going around the top right here because I don't want this to show. I just kind of want that corner to show. But I don't really want any of this stuff right here to show. We have plenty of this in the actual picture itself. Get rid of some of these highlights. I like the bottom part. I do not like the name, how that part comes up like that. I like the middle though. The middle I think is perfectly fine. Then we're just gonna get rid of this stuff, push it all the way to the outer edge. That's fine right there. Actually, I'm gonna bring it in out a little bit. So that way it just doesn't take too much from the picture. When you look at it, you won't be like, oh dang, that's all I see. So now this is gonna be, I'll just call this top. And now I'm actually gonna bring this to the top of everything. So this is gonna be at the very top. Let me make sure I go around her good. All right, so now that we got that, all I'm going to do is I'm gonna look and see what it looks like with the overlay. Some of these different options, see if I like any of them. Kind of like, I don't know, kind of like that one, but I didn't like the how much it took away from it as far as the glow. So I'm just gonna keep this on normal, and I'm just gonna change the opacity. Just change it down a little bit, maybe around 80. No, I still feel like it's too bright. So yeah, we will go to hard light. Hard light probably looks the best. That way it's still soft, but it's not too much, because I don't want it to be brighter than the actual logo itself. So for this, it actually might be a little bit too much. I will go ahead and erase the bottom. It might be a little bit too much, but I just kind of like it. I just really wanted to go for like a little look like on the bottom and the tops. As far as the sides, I don't really care too much for the sides because I don't want it to be too much. But yeah, guys, but anyways, I hope that you all enjoyed. That is actually going to be it for this tutorial. Hope that you all could take some from this, and I will be doing some more tutorials similar to this, maybe not exactly this one. I might do a couple different characters just because, you know, everybody's going to be kind of different with different colors and as far as what's in the background. But anyways, guys, hope that you all enjoyed, and I will see you on the next one. Peace.